Of course, we now know what a reasonable person might have suspected. But while most of the north of England now moves into Tier 3 with the most extreme restrictions, restrictions that are effectively almost identical to a national lockdown, to be in effect lockdown light, with non essential stores allowed to open and pretty much nothing else different. London will go into Tier 2, which is in many ways very similar to having no lockdown at all. If you don't happen to have any friends who want to do anything with you, as long as you're happy to go alone to the pub or the cinema or to whatever it is you would like to do, go for it. The world is your oyster. And while that does suck for those who have active social lives, it does smack of hypocrisy to me. My understanding is that London is the most densely populated part of this country. It is a obvious and serious problem for anyone trying to control the spread of anything, and the only reason, as I understand it, that the coronavirus has not been spreading at great speed through London is because London has been largely deserted by its office workers, by those who do not in fact live in the place populate, but commute in. Well, that won't last forever, and more to the point, the outskirts of London, where people actually live and work, um, will continue to have these issues with spreading the virus, and it seems somewhat constructed and somewhat pressured that in an effort to keep people happy, it seems, from my perspective, London has been granted special grace, and Andy Burnham, I'm sure, must be spitting tacks. Well, who can blame him? And who can blame the people of the North if they look down at London with its relative freedom and say, why should I pay attention to these rules if they're applying one rule to the part of the country they like, to the part of the country that has some bargaining power with the government, and another rule for my region?